Prabhu, in the picture?
Very dark.
Very dark, no? And, I think I will try go this side. This side would be okay. This is okay. Okay. So we'll start now with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chachurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Virupakadamahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yodapadagammalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanyutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanyatamstam Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhasya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhasya Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Sridharine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Vangam Lingete Girim Yat Kripa Tamahamande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Isharam. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaya Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Shushrusho Sraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat Shranvatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Rati Antasto Hyapadrani Vithunoti Sapratsatam Nashta Prayesha Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalopadayaschye Chedayadhairana Vidham Sthitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogadaha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hriday Grandhi Sthidyante Sarva Samsya Chiyande Jasya Karmani Drishtaye Vatmanisharen Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandaraja Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pangajanabhaya Nama Pangajamaline Nama Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajankriya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 15, chapter 5, chapter 5, verse number 18 today. So let me share the screen. Share screen. And here is the verse 2:18. Share. Okay. So let's read the verse. Sattvam rajastama iti nirgunasya gunastrayah sthiti sarga nirodhesho grahita mayaya vipo. So one more time. Sattvam rajastama iti nirgunasya gunastrayah sthiti sarga nirodhesho grahita mayaya vipo. So we'll read the word by word meaning. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Raja, the mode of passion. Tama, the mode of ignorance. Iti, all these. Nirgunasya, of the transcendence. Gunatraya, are three qualities. Sthiti, maintenance. Sarga, creation. Nirodheshu, in destruction. Grahita, accepted. Mayaya, by the external energy. Vipo, of the Supreme. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord is pure spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities. Yet for the sake of the creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, He accepts through His external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance. Purport. The Supreme Lord is the master of the external energy manifested by the three material modes, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. And as master of this energy, He is ever unaffected by the influence of such bewildering energy. The living entities, the jivas, however, are affected by or susceptible to being influenced by such modes of material nature. That is the difference between the Lord and the living entities. The living entities are subjected by those qualities, although originally the living entities are qualitatively one with the Lord. In other words, the material modes of nature, being products of the energy of the Lord, are certainly connected with the Lord. But the connection is just like that between the master and the servants. The Supreme Lord is the controller of the material energy, whereas the living entities who are entangled in the material world are neither masters nor controllers. Rather, they become subordinate to or controlled by such energy. Factually, the Lord is eternally manifested by His internal potency or spiritual energy, just like the sun and its rays in the clear sky. But at times, He creates a material energy, as the sun creates a cloud in the clear sky. As the sun is ever increasingly unaffected by a spot of cloud, so also the unlimited Lord is unaffected by the spot of material energy manifested at times in the unlimited span of the Lord's rays of Brahmajyoti. This is, so we will go to, to set the context, Lord Brahma is answering to Narada Muni's questions regarding creation. He is inquiring of his father, Narada Muni, what is the background of creation? You seem to have everything perfectly you seem to be perfectly in control, like that which is created and that which is being created now and in the future, all seem to be in your grip like a walnut in your palm. But still, you seem to be um, you seem to be under the control. I mean, you seem to be you are very full of austerities, and so whom are you under the control of? So Narada Muni is putting before Brahma these questions. Are you operating independently, or are you under the control of some other power? So Lord Brahma has started answering the questions from yesterday's verse. So the 17, 18 and 19 span the answer to this question. And yesterday we have heard from Sri Vallabh Prabhu a very nice discourse on how Lord Brahma is saying he is only in charge of Visarga. That is that which is already created by the Lord. The Lord does the Sarga and he does the Visarga. The Lord gives him the blueprint of creation, and after being pleased with his austerities and penances, Lord Brahma gains personal darshan of the Lord, Supreme Lord, and he entrusts him with the Visarga. That is the process of creation. He inspects him on the process of creation. So, like in Brahma Samhita, it says, Yekopi asaura chayitam jagadanda kodim yachaktirasti jagadanda chayamedanda andandarasta paramana chayadarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That is Yekopi asau rachayidam jagadanda kodim. This millions of universes are created by the Lord himself. And then he is present in each and every atom of the creation. So that is his unlimited glory. So Lord Brahma is saying in this words, how in the with the help of his external energy, Lord engages the modes of material nature, that is goodness, passion and ignorance, in the creation, maintenance, for the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the material worlds. So here we are dealing with in this verse, it is showing, it's speaking to us about the importance of the material modes, how they come into play. And we know that the three modes are the constitute parts of the total ingredients in material creation. And then so when that pot that is pradhan is present in the spiritual sky as just like a cloud, it shows up in our material sky like that. And when it is stirred with the time, that is by the glance of the Lord, then everything comes into being. That is just like when a plane lands and then the various baggages come out in the conveyor belt. The creatures come out of that pot. That is the individual souls are given material bodies like that one. So, but only thing is in our passenger conveyor belt, a bag will be coming into the belt and exiting as a bag. A suitcase will come into the belt and exit as a suitcase, etc. But the created beings, how they are associated with material modes. So when they come into the creation of the conveyor belt, they may be in one shape, but when they get out, they may be in a different shape. That is the ways of associating the living entity, how it associates with the modes of material nature. as it is said in Bhagavad Gita 13:22. Purusham prakritistohi bhungte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangosya sadasat joni janmasu. That is, because we are in contact with the material modes of nature, we are subjected to birth in sadasat yonis, all varieties of species of life. So Srila Prabhupada is saying here, the Lord is the master of the material modes, whereas the living entities become subject to, that is, we can be influenced by the modes of material nature, that which is very detailed. We have studied in the modes of material nature in Bhagavad Gita chapter 14. Depending upon the modes, our destinations are different at the time of leaving the material bodies. But the Lord is always unaffected by the modes of nature. Like in Brahma Samhita, he is described as Tad Brahma Nishkala. That is, he is the unalloyed, pure, in the mode of unalloyed goodness. That is pure goodness, Vishuddha Sattva. Whereas we come into the material modes of Sattva, Raja, or Tamo. And then, we become colored. Our chitta, our mind becomes colored by these modes, and the characteristics of the modes are also described in the that is in the modes of the chapter on the modes of material nature. So the creation, the initial step in creation is this the formation of this pradhan, which is like compared to a cloud in our material. Just like the sun creates a cloud in the sky, but it does not, the brilliance of the sun is not affected. Just like that, the Lord creating this pradhan, the substance of material creation, and it is in the spiritual sky, but it does not affect him any. Whereas the living entities, they become very much influenced by the modes of material nature. The Lord is eternally manifested by his eternal potency or spiritual energy, just like the sun and its rays in the clear sky. But at times he creates material energy, as the sun creates a cloud in the clear sky. So it is not that this pradhan exists as a constant presence in the spiritual sky, because there are times when there is dissolution. And so there will be at the time of dissolution, there is no creation going on. So there will be no cloud in the spiritual sky. But then when again there is time for creation, this pradhan is created by the Lord, the pot of the material ingredients of creation. And then so in this verse, for us, the main thing to notice is that he accepts through his external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he is never in direct contact with the material modes. Through his material energy, that is casting a glance on Maya, then he engages the material modes in the creation. And we know how this, just like in the various yugas, the different modes are predominating. Like in the Satya Yuga, we have mainly the mode of goodness, and it's like a white paint. And as the ages deteriorate in the quality of goodness, we have the color. It takes on the colors. Like in Treta Yuga, it is the mode of passion is introduced, and in Dwapara also it is increasingly in the mode of passion. The mode of passion increases, and there is also the mode of ignorance. And in Kali Yuga, it's predominantly the mode of ignorance. As we can see, the living entities are covered in the with the anger, anger and despair, and their activities are and they are taking to so many drugs, and then drunk and all those things. Srila Prabhupada has intervened at the right time to give us this Krishna consciousness, a window of Krishna consciousness to the whole world in this age of Kali, bringing the hippies into the, transforming the hippies into the happies. So in text Bhagavad Gita 2.45, Lord says to Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Pavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Chema Atmavan. So Lord is saying the Vedas mainly deal with the modes, the Upasana and the Karma Kanda, all that is in the subject matter of the Vedas. They are to do with the material modes. You rise above the modes of nature, O Arjuna, and become rise above the dualities of material nature, and be situated in the mode of goodness, from which it is possible to go into the platform of transcendence. So, and do not be concerned with the Yogachema or even material welfare. Be situated in the self. That is the, having come into this material world and having acquired this human form of life, this is the advice given by the Lord. That is, you have to rise above the modes of material nature. Then only you can, gain freedom from birth and death, because the modes are binding. Even the mode of goodness, it is like the golden chain. It binds you in the mode of enjoyment. And then passion, there is, you have to come back into this material world again to do your unfinished work. That is wanting to acquire more and more, and do things in the material activities, to be an enjoyer and lord it over the material nature. So whereas if you that is, when you do your activities as an offering to Krishna, then you are detaching yourself from the modes of material nature and attaching to the Supreme Lord. So that is basically the we have many the subject matter of the modes of material nature in Canto 11 in Uttava Gita. So we can see that a little. And also chapter 11. 1 second. So chapter 11, from verses 30 to 36. That is dealing with In 32, the Lord is saying, "O gentle Uddhava, all these different phases of conditioned life arise from work born of the modes of material nature. The living entity who conquers these modes, manifested from the mind, can dedicate himself to me by the process of devotional service and thus attain pure love for me." And text 33. Therefore, having achieved this human form of life, which allows one to develop full knowledge, those who are intelligent should free themselves from all condemnation of the modes of nature and engage exclusively in loving service to me. A wise sage, free from all material association and unbewildered, should subdue his senses and worship me. He should conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by engaging himself only with things in the mode of goodness. Then, being fixed in devotional service, the sage should also conquer the material mode of goodness by indifference toward the modes. Thus, pacified within his mind, the spirit soul, freed from the modes of nature, gives up the very cause of his conditional life and attains me. So, as we said in the beginning, the very cause of our material existence is the association with the modes of nature. So, one has to cast away this his association totally with the material modes. This is possible only by engaging in pure devotional service to the Lord. Freed from the subtle conditioning of the mind and from the modes of nature born of material consciousness, the living entity becomes completely satisfied by experiencing my transcendental form. He no longer searches for enjoyment in the external energy, nor does he contemplate or remember such enjoyment within himself. So, this is one who is completely absorbed in transcendence. So, so what I was going to say, just one thing. That is in the beginning, prayers for Srimad Bhagavatam. We say, Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye chedayaderanavitham stitham sattve prasidati. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogadaha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. So we have to just by simply absorbing in the study of Bhagavatam daily, we can get over the modes. Rajas, Tama, Kama, Lobha, Deste. All the unwanted things are cleansed from the consciousness, but through Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So this is the so in this verse, Lord Brahma is explaining to Narada how the Lord uses material modes in the matter of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Lord Brahma is using the mode of passion, and Lord Vishnu is maintaining in the mode of goodness, and Lord Shiva is in the tamo, is representing the tamo guna, the mode of ignorance to destroy the cosmic manifestation. So that's all for today. If any comments or questions, please feel we have probably a few minutes, no minutes actually, but still I'm sorry if I misspoke. Thank you very much for your patience. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances to all glories.
Such a nice and sweet discussion today morning, Mathaji. You explained so nicely. Particularly, I like that analogy of the conveyor belt in the airport. while suitcases come out as suitcases, we don't come out as what. That was really funny, but that's also the truth.
Yeah.
You nicely explained the three modes of material nature and how to transcend it. Thank you so much, Mathaji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your encouragement. So we can end the class, Lakshmikant Prabhu. It's past 8 o'clock already.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya raja patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada